Hey, 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 hey. Hi, everyone. This is Sherry Jones of Sherry Speaks Life. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my Speak Life moment. I'm so excited to have you all with me this evening. Sherry Speaks Life is where I teach you how to speak life, love yourself, and impact the world around you. I hope that you all are having a wonderful Monday. It is the beginning of the work week for a lot of us. We're coming off of the weekend, and so it's time to get back into the grind and get back into the swing of things. And so I love to come on every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for these Speak Life moments to help you with that boost to get through the week. And so this is actually my second Speak Life moment of 2020. So excited for this new year and this new decade. And so tonight's topic was be anxious for nothing. And what inspired this topic is earlier today, I have a women's group called Glory Carriers Women's Network, and I did the midday prayer. And so during the midday prayer, the Lord was speaking to me about not being desperate and not worrying about things and being so desperate for the things that we want, the things that we desire, that we are willing to compromise ourselves and compromise our beliefs and compromise what we stand for in order to pursue the things that we are looking for. And so I started thinking about that, and I was like, no, we should not be anxious for nothing. And so that led me to scripture. I was actually speaking to my cousin, the awesome evangelist David Crawford, and she said the scripture. So that helped me to tie everything in to be anxious for nothing. I see some people have hopped on. Thank you so much, Gemma. Thank you so much, Gloria, for watching. So the scripture reference this evening is Philippians 4 and 6. And if you all would like to just type that in for those that are hopping on, but it is Philippians 4:6. And the English Standard Version says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with gratitude, make your requests known to God. Okay, so I'll repeat that. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with gratitude, make your requests known to God. Okay, so that is letting us know we have to be anxious for nothing, and by prayer and supplication. So I'm a word girl. I had to look that up, make sure I understood what supplication meant. But it says asking or begging for something earnestly or humbly. Okay, with gratitude, make your request known to God. And so then I looked at the New Living Translation, and of course the New Living Translation breaks it down just a little bit more for us. Okay, and so it says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. Okay, so that's just breaking down that other version a little further. But you see it says, don't worry about anything. Instead, so instead of worrying about everything, we're not supposed to worry about everything. In place of, instead means in place of. So in place of worrying, we are supposed to pray about everything. Tell God what we need and thank him for what he has done. Okay, now that is easier said than done. And I can tell you that for me, my testimony, because I worry about things. I worry a lot. And one thing that I worried about recently was my son transitioning from elementary school to middle school. You know, that is a hard transition. And so with, my son, I was just worried about bullying. I was worried about him transitioning well, him understanding what's going on, having multiple teachers, having to change classes, just that whole thing. So I worried and stressed about this thing, I'm telling y'all, for like a whole year. Okay, so he was in 5th grade, and I was just still like, when 5th grade started, I started worrying about middle school. So it was just something I just was totally stressing about. And then I had to come to the point to say, okay, look, I'm not supposed to be worried about this. I'm not supposed to be anxious about this. I am supposed to turn it over to God. I know he's going to work it out. I know things are going to work out for my son. So I just have to trust. Okay. And that was hard for me to do because I'm trying to do everything in my might, like, okay, looking up things and of course you got to do your due diligence, but I was just trying to take control of the matter and figure out how to do things on my own. Okay. And when I turned it over and I said, okay, Lord, whatever happens, I know you're going to lead me to the right thing to do for my son. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Then one of my friends referred me to this program, this magnet program. I was able to apply and get him in, and it all worked out. Now, has it been smooth sailing middle school? No. He has had bumps and he's been dealing with some kids, not so nice kids at school and things like that. That's all, typical middle school stuff. And I've been, trying to work with him and figuring out what to do about all of that. But the thing is, I cannot worry. Okay, I have to trust God that everything is going to work out. Okay, and so I'm just looking down at notes, y'all. And so then I also looked up anxious because I like to look up words and see what anxious means. So there's two definitions for anxious. It says wanting something very much, typically with a feeling of unease. So that's how I felt about middle school. I wanted so bad for my son to have a successful middle school experience that I was uneasy about it. And part of that is because I did not have a good middle school experience. I was teased. I was bullied. I went through a lot in middle school, didn't feel good about myself. And so I didn't want my son to experience the same things. So I'm going into it with an uneasy feeling, being anxious. And then another definition is experience worry, unease, or nervousness, usually because of an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. Okay. So middle school was an uncertain outcome for me. I didn't know what was going to happen. Okay. So I was anxious. And so I thought about what are some ways that we cannot be anxious. So the first one that I wrote down was to know that God is in control, not you. And I kind of referenced that earlier with the testimony about my son. One way to not be anxious is to know that you're not in control. We like to think we're in control. We like to think that, we got things handled. Everything in our life is easy breezy because we got this schedule or we got this way of doing things. We have this processes. And so we depend on those things. And that gives us the false confidence. Mind you, I say false confidence that we are in control. You are not in control. God is in control because no matter what you schedule, no matter how you plan things out, a wrench can always be thrown in that. And God controls all of that as far as, making sure that things are going to fall in line for us. Okay. Which goes to my second point is we have to know that he works everything out for our good. Okay, so that's not saying that bad things are not going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. Bad things happen in life. It's just all a part of life. But God is in control of the fact that the narrative is going to work out for our favor. Romans 8:28 tells us that everything is going to work out for the good of those that love the Lord. So if we relinquish control and we trust God and we trust his control, and then we are confident in the fact that no matter what happens, it is going to work out for our good, then we can be anxious for nothing. We can understand our part to play. Okay? And that's my third point. Understand your part to play. Your part in the narrative is not control. Your part in the narrative is obedience. So as long as you are obedient to the Lord and his way, you submit to his will, not your will, then you have nothing to be anxious about because you know that he's in control and you know that it's all going to work out for your good. So it's all full circle, y'all. It's all full circle. It starts with knowing that you are not in control. He is in control. Then you understand that with that control, he is going to work it out for your good. Okay. Then with understanding that he is going to work it out for your good, you are able to submit and be obedient to his will. And if you submit and be obedient to his will, this is going to come right back around with knowing that he's not in control. Okay. So it's all a circle. It's all a circle. Okay. So I hope my points are making sense, but that's what we have to realize. And if we realize those three things, then we will be anxious for nothing. We will not be worrying. We will not be, stressing out about the things that are happening in our lives, because we're going to have confidence in God and we're going to trust him that things are going to work out. I know we're human. I'm not saying that we're not going to worry about some things. It's human nature to worry and to be concerned and to want to fix things. But what we have to understand is that we, in our own power, do not have the answer. We are not the fixer. God is the fixer. Okay? And once we realize that, then everything else in our lives will fall into place and we will be anxious for nothing. Okay? So I hope that this message was a blessing to you. I see Pam popped on. Thank you so much, Pam, for watching. But I hope it was a message and a great reminder to you to be anxious for nothing. Recapping the points again. In order to be anxious for nothing, we have to know that God is in control, not us. Then secondly, we have to know that everything is going to work out for our good. And thirdly, we have to know our part to play, which is obedience. That is our role in all of this, to be obedient to God and to his will. I hope that you all enjoyed this Speak Life moment and that you are going to walk in grace and walk in peace and be anxious for nothing. Anxious for nothing. God's got you. You have nothing to be worried about. Thank you so much again for tuning in to this Speak Life moment. I am Sherry Jones, author, inspirational speaker, and I am here to teach you how to speak life, love yourself, and impact the world around you. Please go to my website, sherryspeakslife.com, and join the Sherry Speaks Life community. In that community, you will receive a freebie when you first join that's about boosting your self-esteem. So it's great reminders and great tips in there to stay confident in who you are. And then you will get weekly inspiration and exclusive updates about Sherry Speaks Life products and services. And I'm so excited. I'm going to give you all a little hint. There is a big announcement coming up later this week. I'm so excited about it. If you join my Sherry Speaks Life community, you'll find out before everybody else. But look for that big announcement by the end of this week. Some great things happening for Sherry Speaks Life. Thank you again for tuning in. If you are watching the replay, please put #replay, because replay is bae, and we appreciate replay audiences as well. You all take care. Love you with the love of Christ. Be anxious. Bye-bye.